Hey guys, it's me Suja over here. Welcome back to another video. So on this video, I'm going to be talking about how to become successful in Vietnam as a foreigner. Yeah, I'm a bit under the weather. Um, got a bit of running, got a bit of cold. Yeah, okay. So if you're new to my channel, name of my channel is called as Suja in Vietnam. Living here for 7 years now. I was an English teacher before here in Vietnam for a couple of years, and then I started my online business, and I'm also a full-time YouTuber. So if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, just takes less than 2 seconds. Hit the subscribe button, and that way you can support my work. Let me just have a bit of my coffee. So I'm going to take my time talking about this video. Also, I decided to, make this video like a 1080p high resolution. I'm pretty messed up today. Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah. So yeah, you can see the background. I'm not blurring it because I realize that, I want to make it very genuine and very, I want to make my videos very authentic. I don't want to do a lot of makeup and all that kind of jazz. Yeah. So yeah, so if you are, if you are planning to come to Vietnam, and if you want to start a new life, and if you want to become successful out here in Vietnam, not as a tourist, right? So if you are like planning to settle down in Vietnam, or if you are looking for the option of becoming successful out here in Vietnam, I'm going to give you a couple of the tips over here. So taking some notes down, but let me just tell you quickly that um, it's always very important. It's always handy to learn the language. Okay, to learn the Vietnamese language. I mean, you should at least speak basic Vietnamese language, because the doors will open up for you, right? So if you can speak basic Vietnamese over here when you come to Vietnam, or, I suggest you take up a Vietnamese class. I mean, because that is a very important asset for you to network out here in Vietnam with many different businesses. You need to understand that the business environment here in Vietnam is very different compared to what it is in the West and in Europe and other countries, right? The business environment over here is generally revolving around, networking, and also very importantly, I like you factor. Okay, or I like you and I trust you. Okay, these are important things. What do you call that as? Get to know you or something. Yeah. So, like, most importantly, I like you. All right, I like you as a person. So I want to do business with you. All right, you understand my culture. You understand the business norms, the business ethics of how to do business out here in Vietnam. So yes, I would like to network with you. I would like to do business with you, right? So the easiest way for you to start basically making money out here in Vietnam is like to become an English teacher out here. Of course, like I said, have like 2 years of solid teaching experience out here in Vietnam, make some money, get to know how the teaching business works out here in Vietnam, especially if you're a native teacher, or but like you are, like your students like you, and the school likes you and all that. So like work for solid 2 years. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be hard for you. you're going to run into obstacles, but most importantly, like you need to get the experience. Like I have like 4 years of teaching experience. But like after teaching like 2 years in school, I decided to start my private tutoring business, learn English Vietnam. If you look, there are a couple of YouTubers, like they promote the TESOL program and everything. I mean, I know one person, like he's got many subscribers on YouTube, and he's been out here in Vietnam for many years. But he started as an English teacher. Okay, everybody starts like an English teacher, right? Generally, like most foreigners when they come to Vietnam, if like they start off their career, as an English teacher over here in Vietnam. As an English teacher over here in Vietnam, get experience, and then obviously you have your own plans. Start networking, or I've had an expat teacher friend. Like he married a Vietnamese. I believe he married his TA. They were like in a relationship before, so he married his TA, and then she was Vietnamese, and then they decided to start an English language center. So yeah, I mean, if you like, I'm not saying that if you find the right Vietnamese person for you, and if you get married, like the doors open up a lot for you, as an expat. Um, you can start a business. Of course, there needs to be certain ownership, which has to be like it has to be Vietnamese. Correct me if I'm wrong or not, but like the doors open up more for you. And of course, like I said, you need to know the language. Because if you're going to be speaking English and networking only out here in Vietnam, it's not going to take you very, it's not going to help you to connect very well. So yes, you can start off with LinkedIn. Like, if you want to, there are many startups out here in Vietnam, especially in Ho Chi Minh. So like a lot of these young entrepreneurs, like I see them all in the coffee shop, young Vietnamese guys, with their laptops and everything. Like I wouldn't be surprised that, like most of them, they do have some kind of startup companies and all that. Or they have some group of friends, and then they have the startup company. And like a couple of these big companies out here in Vietnam, they started as startups, like, group of Vietnamese friends and everything. But here we are talking about you as a foreigner, right? So if you have plans to do some startup, start networking. It's important to collaborate. I recommend you collaborate with the Vietnamese person, so that he will be able to help you to network more, and of course bypass all the rules and regulations, because you have like paperwork, legalization, starting up a business and everything. Speaking of setting up your business out here in Vietnam, you can check out this channel called as Young Global. I mean, I keep on yeah, I mean, I do watch his videos. It's very informative, and it all talks about, like starting up a business, starting up a company out here in Vietnam. So yeah, you can. I'm going to leave a link of the channel in the description below, so you can check it out. You get a lot of informative facts, and of course, you know, if you can obtain if you can obtain a Vietnamese passport, um, then of course, you will get a lot of added benefits, right? Provided, if your country allows like dual citizenship, like you can hold your country's passport and also apply for a Vietnamese passport. So because where I come from India, so I don't think we are allowed to carry dual passports. I don't know if I may be wrong or what, but because my brother is an American citizen, he has a U.S. passport. Um, my dad's a green card. in the US, but he's going to get a citizenship. So they have to surrender the home country passport, right? So yeah, like some countries they do provide, like dual citizenship. So if that is available from your country, from your home country, then I highly recommend you apply for a Vietnamese passport. Look at the procedure. Like I said, if you want to do that, you can you can check out Young Global, the YouTube channel, and you can get in touch with them. I'm not promoting them, but I like to keep watching their videos from time to time because it educates me more in terms of the compliance and the laws out here in Vietnam. So it's very important for you to know about the rules and regulations out here in Vietnam, because business conducted here in Vietnam is very different compared to what it is in the West or in Europe or from your home country, right? And of course, like I said, if you are an English teacher, might as well get some good experience out here in Vietnam, and then you can start to think about opening up a language center or something. You know, and of course there are added benefits if you marry a Vietnamese person, but don't do it for the sake of just setting up your business. Like I said, if you're truly compatible and if you want to spend the rest of your life with her, by all means, yes, do get married. And of course, there are added benefits. You get the residency visa, the temporary residency visa. If you're married to a Vietnamese, um, it gives you more access, right? So yeah, you can look into that. Like I said, networking is very important. If you have the command over the Vietnamese language, it can really take you places. Unfortunately, like many foreigners, I mean, I'm not going to be hiding this fact, but even people like me, I've been living here for 7 years. My knowledge of Vietnamese is very limited. I mean, I can speak very limited Vietnamese, but I wish I could speak more so that I would be able to network better out here. But the nature of my business is online, so I'm not basically looking for having a startup out here in Vietnam, because I do purely my business is purely online, and it's pretty global. So I don't think I require that. But yes, um, I would like to learn the language a bit more better, the Vietnamese language a bit more better, provided if I get some kind of a long-term visa out here, if Vietnam comes up with some kind of a long-term visa or something like a digital nomad visa, then of course I would be happy to invest for enrolling for a Vietnamese class and improving the command over this language, right? Because Vietnamese language is not very easy to learn. I do speak Russian, but it is it is a difficult language. But if you understand the basics, I mean, I do follow a couple of YouTubers out here, expat YouTubers, especially Western YouTubers, Americans, and they speak very good Vietnamese. And like I follow a American YouTuber out here. He's a vlogger. He was an English teacher, and I love the fact that when he walks around the streets of Saigon, he's able to communicate with the local people. I mean, that's real stuff, I mean, and people love him. Um, a huge shout out to Big Time Bentley. I mean, I follow your channel, and I'm a big fan. So yeah, it really takes you places, yeah. And of course, cultural understanding is very important. I would suggest that before you come to Vietnam, you should understand. You should like do a lot of research. You should do a bit of research about the culture out here. Like check out some YouTube videos. They talk about what are the cultural norms out here in Vietnam, the etiquettes, and of course have the basic command over the language before you come over here. First, explore the market. Very important for you to to research the market. So if you're coming to, sorry, If you're coming out here to Vietnam, I suggest you take that 90-day visa. The first month is going to be usually for you exploring around, but then you start like understanding what kind of shops are there. Go in these shops, try to see what they're selling, what the people are selling, understand the vibe. That's very important. Do your market research. And I know like many like startup entrepreneurs, or like people who want to set up some factories out here in Vietnam, or do some import export. They usually come out here, they do the research, go back to their home country, and then they do the preparations, and then they come back again to Vietnam, and then they start setting up the factories and all those kind of things, and connect with the right suppliers. So yeah, that's very important. And of course you can I mean, like, the beauty about Vietnam is that it's a running economy, right? It's a running economy wherever, like, if I'm going on a grab bike and all that, I see a lot of motorbikes, like, some guys, with a lot of boxes, well, carrying a lot of items and everything. That's economy on the run, right? The economy of the Vietnam is always running. All these small shops and everything, they make a lot of money. They may look very simple. Some of the shops, they may look shabby and everything, but they make money every day, I mean. And that's how, it is. The beauty about Vietnam is that it starts, I mean, you have the small shops, the mom and pop shops, like, you have big fancy shops and everything, but the economy is always running out here, so there's a lot of money to be made out here in Vietnam. If you can understand the market well over here in Vietnam, you can make a lot of money. You can become very successful. um, so do the market research, develop a business plan. um, and of course you got to understand the local laws and regulations over here, like what's ethical and what's not. um, and of course networking. So I mean, two platforms which I feel are good for networking as a foreigner, as an expat, would be LinkedIn for sure, and of course Facebook, because a lot of Vietnamese people, they like to be on Facebook. And also, it's not. I mean, if you go to Facebook Marketplace, you can see a lot of items being sold out here, and of course, if you see Facebook Live, a lot of Vietnamese women, they sell a lot of stuffs. Especially from Hanoi and even here in Saigon. It's just like, and you wouldn't believe like the amount of money they make. So, like I said, it's a running economy over here. You can make a lot of money over here if you understand the market very well, and if you can network with the right people, they can definitely show you the places, open up the doors for you. You need to have a you need to you need to you need if you're going to just communicate English with them, it's not going to work out for you. So you have to have a command over the language. If you're able to speak basic and even decent level Vietnamese with them, they know that, okay, you're trying to network, so they'll be more approachable to you. And they will accept you. So, and of course, like, all this business setup, operations and management, that all comes later onwards. I mean, I remember when I used to run my Learn English Vietnam, I would say 80% of the marketing was done by my Vietnamese people, by my Vietnamese staff. I mean, I never hired. I mean, they were like freelancers. They were students. I would pay them money. They would do some part-time work for me, and that's the reason why I was able to conduct, to grow my private tutoring business, because you need the local connection. If you think you're going to be doing it all by yourself, and if you're going to just be speaking English out here and getting things done, that's not going to take you in the long run. I mean, it's not going to take you very far. Like, there are a lot of things, like having business connections, attending the right parties, the events. Go out to these events, wedding parties, and all those kind of things. Like, network with the right people. Because you never know who you stumble across. You never know who you're going to be meeting. Maybe you'll be meeting a very influential Vietnamese person. Of course, there's always that golden jackpot. If you marry a Vietnamese girl and if she turns out to be a very influential person out here in Vietnam, or if she's a very successful entrepreneur, then you got the golden ticket. But it doesn't happen to everyone. It's just like, I would say, it's like 1% of the time. But so that's a different story altogether. And yes, you can find high class Vietnamese women if you're on Tinder, because I know the fact that there are also successful young Vietnamese entrepreneur women there on Tinder, and you can make out from their profile pictures and everything. You know, so yeah, if that works out for you, great. You can do that, and of course, um, come with the intention that you're going to be having a long-term vision. You're going to be having a long-term plan out here in Vietnam. If you're going to be coming over here and getting bogged down with, oh, I don't like the traffic, oh, I don't like the pollution, um, it's not going to work out for you. You got to accept it. You got to blend in. You got to take it as it is. I mean, the the product itself, the product itself. I'm talking about the Vietnam as a whole, the country, especially if you're in Saigon. And of course, Hanoi is, there are a lot of rich people in Hanoi. There are a lot of rich Vietnamese in Hanoi. If you really want to see real rich people, you got to go to Hanoi, because, it may be very crowded, congested, and everything, but, a lot of rich people also. I don't know if the ice cream person is out here. I got to wait for this dude to go. But, anyways, um, wait, hold on. Let this dude go. Yeah, he's gone, the ice cream guy. I've tried a couple of his ice creams. He's good. He sells good chocolate ice creams. Um, so yes, you got to accept as it is. If you're going to be thinking, oh, this has to be like, why this is not like Singapore, or why this is not like Thailand, it's not going to help you in the long run. I mean, if you really want to make it big, you got to accept as it is. And of course, a lot of deals, a lot of business deals are done over here in Vietnam, especially if you're drinking during the drinking sessions, especially, like it all starts with, people, like after hours, they will be drinking, and, like, you got to drink. I mean, they drink a lot, and then, it comes to a point where both of them are in that connectivity point, let's do it. Okay, okay, beer, that's where business meetings happen. I mean, I've sitting for like a couple of rounds of beer and everything, because, generally, like, most of the Vietnamese men, they love drinking beer. I love beer, but, I got my limits. I mean, I cannot gobble up, 6 7 cans of Tiger beer. But there are many Vietnamese, they drink a lot. But, a lot of business deals are done in those drinking sessions. And of course, never be reluctant. If some Vietnamese is inviting you for an event, for a wedding party, or whatever it is, I highly recommend you go. Because you can network over there. And especially, like I said, if you learn the Vietnamese language, and if you can speak the Vietnamese language, that is your number one passport to success. Because if you can speak basic Vietnamese, even if you can speak basic Vietnamese, I highly recommend you take the 90-day visa, you come out here first month, explore around Vietnam, and then, see which city you really want to settle up. If you like Da Nang, if you feel that, you really want to settle down over here, if you're looking at yourself like, okay, I can be here for 5 years, straight, then the focus to create that business plan. Okay, create that plan for yourself. Or if you want to stay in Hanoi, personally, I like to be here in I like Saigon, although I'm staying out here in the countryside for 2 years. But like if you like the business vibe, then you should be out here in Saigon. And then of course, start investing. Like join up for a Vietnamese class. Improve your, start learning Vietnamese. Because like I said, there are a couple of expat YouTubers out here that speak very good Vietnamese, Western YouTubers, and they have gone a long way. They're to success. They're very successful. They're being loved by the local people. So the language takes you the long way over here. I think it's applicable for any country. Of course, in India it's a different scenario, because in India it's an English speaking country. So even if you speak English, they'll do. But like in Southeast Asia, predominantly, like if you know the local language, it can take you a long way. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to cut this video. I'm going to give you a checklist, right? So I'll give you a checklist for you, on how, a checklist guide for you on how you can become successful out here in Vietnam. Um, and and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, are you planning to start? Are you planning to have a startup out here in Vietnam? Or do you have a business out here in Vietnam? Are you facing any challenges, or how has been the journey for you so far? I would love to hear from you, because I myself am an entrepreneur, although my business is online. But I would love to hear from you guys. So let me know your comments down in the section. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, down in the comments below. Um, and yeah, I'm going to keep that checklist. So yeah, if you like watching this video, make sure to like this video. And if you found this video to be informational, you can always buy me a coffee. The link is down in the description below. And if you're traveling around in Southeast Asia, I would like to invite you for a free webinar workshop uh, that will help you to start up a successful online business. So you can check out the link down in the description below. I'm going to keep that for you. And yeah, with that being said, you guys all stay blessed. This was me, Sujoy. Peace out.